Ladies and gentlemen, love is often portrayed as a fairy tale where everything is perfect and our hearts are constantly in sync. But let me share something with you today. Love isn't about being glued to one another, checking on each other every second, or demanding constant validation. True love is about understanding, respecting, and yes, sometimes giving space. True love begins with the most important relationship you'll ever have, the one with yourself. Before we can offer love to anyone else, we must first acknowledge that we are worthy of love, respect, and happiness. It all starts with understanding our own value. Self love is not about narcissism or vanity. It is about honoring ourselves as unique individuals who deserve to be cherished, not just by others, but by ourselves. When you have self respect, you set the foundation for all other relationships to thrive. Self love is the practice of nurturing your own well being, both emotionally and mentally. It's about accepting who you are, your strengths, your flaws, your victories, and your struggles. We often find ourselves seeking validation from others, whether it's in the form of compliments, affection, or approval. But the truth is, no one can truly love you until you love yourself first. It's a paradox. We wait for others to value us, but in reality, it is when we fully value ourselves that others are more likely to appreciate and respect us. Independence is a vital aspect of self-love. It's not about being alone, rather, it's about not needing someone else to complete you. Independence in love means you have your own identity, passions, and goals separate from the other person. It means being able to enjoy your own company, pursue your own dreams, and stand tall on your own 2 feet. When you're independent, you come into a relationship as a whole person, not someone looking for someone else to fill an emotional void. This kind of strength gives your partner the freedom to be themselves as well, creating a balanced, healthy relationship. People who have self-respect don't settle for anything less than what they deserve. They know their worth and they're willing to walk away from relationships that diminish their value. Too often, we get caught up in the idea of love as a means to complete ourselves, but we forget that we are already whole. It's only when we acknowledge our own worth that we can enter into relationships where we are valued for who we truly are, rather than for what we can give or sacrifice for others. In the journey of life, self-love is the greatest gift we can give ourselves. It allows us to set healthy boundaries, communicate effectively, and make decisions that prioritize our own happiness. When you truly respect and love yourself, you begin to attract people who recognize your worth and treat you accordingly. This forms the basis for meaningful, fulfilling relationships where both people bring their best selves, unburdened by the need for validation or approval. Love, in its truest form, is not about possession or control. It is not about clinging to someone, expecting them to constantly prove their affection or attention. True love is not about needing to monitor every aspect of a person's life or demanding they fit into the mold of your expectations. Instead, love is a deep, unshakable connection that thrives on mutual respect and understanding. It is a partnership built on trust and the belief that both individuals have their own path to follow while supporting each other along the way. When love becomes possessive, it loses its purity. Possession in love often comes in the form of jealousy, insecurity, and control, as one person seeks to hold onto the other out of fear or desperation. But love is not about holding someone captive emotionally or physically. True love is about appreciating someone for who they are, not trying to change them or make them into someone else. It's about recognizing that each person is whole on their own, with their own desires, ambitions, and individuality. In a healthy relationship, love allows each person to grow and evolve without fear of rejection or abandonment. There is no need for constant validation because both people know their worth and respect one another's personal space and freedom. The constant need for reassurance or attention can stifle the relationship and create an unhealthy dynamic where one person feels obligated to fulfill the emotional needs of the other without reciprocation. True love is about giving freely without expecting anything in return. It's about understanding that the other person has their own life outside of the relationship and that this independence doesn't diminish the love shared, but actually strengthens it. When both partners feel secure in their individual identities, they can come together to form something greater. Love should empower both individuals to be their best selves, not to become overly dependent on one another for validation. Instead of seeking constant confirmation, True love provides a space where both people feel free to express themselves, pursue their dreams, and live their lives with the understanding that their connection is strong enough to withstand the natural ebb and flow of life. In a relationship where love is not seen as possession, there is no need for control or domination. Instead, the love shared is built on trust, acceptance, and the mutual understanding that each person's happiness is important, not just the happiness of one. When love is freed from the constraints of possessiveness, it becomes a partnership in the truest sense, where both individuals are valued equally for who they are, not for how much they can offer or prove. In every healthy relationship, space is essential not just for personal growth, but for the growth of the relationship itself. When two people come together, it's natural to share parts of themselves with each other, their dreams, their fears, their hopes, and their vulnerabilities. However, the true strength of a partnership is built on the understanding that both individuals need room to evolve as separate people. Space allows for this personal growth, which in turn enables the relationship to deepen and flourish. Personal growth, at its core, is the process of becoming the best version of yourself. It involves exploring your passions, facing your fears, and pushing beyond your comfort zone. When you are in a relationship, it's easy to get caught up in the dynamics between the two of you, and it may seem like the relationship requires all your attention. But the most vibrant, enduring relationships are formed when both people continue to pursue their personal goals, interests, and self-development. Each person should feel encouraged to pursue what makes them feel fulfilled, knowing that their partner will support their journey. When each person has the space to grow individually, they can bring their best selves into the relationship, making it more rewarding for both. Without this space, relationships can become stifling as one or both partners may lose sight of their own identity in the process of merging their lives with someone else. Personal growth cannot happen in an environment where one person is constantly under pressure to meet the expectations of the other. For a relationship to remain healthy, both people must have the freedom to explore who they are outside of the relationship. This allows them to bring new experiences, perspectives, and insights back to the partnership, which strengthens their connection. Moreover, personal growth is not a solitary journey. While space is important, it's equally crucial that the growth of both individuals within the relationship is supported. Encouraging your partner to pursue their goals, to take risks, and to challenge themselves is an essential part of the love and respect you share. This mutual support fosters a sense of trust and appreciation. It's about being each other's cheerleader, not a barrier or restriction. When both people grow individually, they bring new energy and ideas to the relationship, which makes it even more dynamic. Healthy relationships require balance, the space to grow individually and the time to come together as partners to share those experiences. Both are necessary for a relationship to thrive, as they allow both individuals to become better versions of themselves. Ultimately, it's in the pursuit of personal growth that both partners discover their true potential, both as individuals and as a couple. Commitment in a relationship is often misunderstood as a binding contract that limits freedom, but in its purest form, commitment is about standing by each other through thick and thin, providing unwavering support and showing up when it matters the most. It's not about controlling or restricting each other's lives. It's about building a partnership based on mutual respect and trust. True commitment gives both partners the freedom to grow and flourish while still maintaining the bond that unites them. At its core, commitment is about being there for one another, even when circumstances are difficult. It's about showing up during the highs and the lows, offering a steady hand in moments of uncertainty. Commitment doesn't demand constant attention or validation, but rather a deep understanding that no matter where life takes each person, they can always rely on one another for support. It is the promise to weather challenges together, to face life's uncertainties with courage and confidence, knowing that both are in it together. Commitment, however, is not a cage. It's not about limiting each other's freedom or imposing expectations that confine individuality. A healthy commitment allows both people to live their lives fully, pursue their passions, and follow their dreams, knowing that their partner will be there every step of the way. It is about fostering an environment where both individuals are encouraged to grow without fear of rejection or abandonment. True commitment doesn't involve forcing someone to fit into your vision of how their life should be. Instead, it embraces their uniqueness, supports their personal journey, and celebrates their growth. At the heart of commitment lies trust. Trust is the foundation that holds the relationship together, ensuring that both individuals can be open, honest, and vulnerable without fear of judgment or betrayal. Trust in a relationship isn't something that can be demanded. It is earned through consistent actions, honesty, and reliability. When trust exists between two people, there is no need for possessiveness or control. Instead, both partners can be secure in the knowledge that their love is not conditional on constant surveillance or validation. Possessiveness often emerges when fear and insecurity take root in a relationship. But love and commitment are not about claiming ownership of someone else's life. Rather, they are about supporting each other's individuality while creating a strong, unified partnership. True commitment is a choice, not a force. It's a choice to stand by each other, to trust each other, and to allow each other the space to be the best versions of themselves. It's about growing together without restricting the freedom that each person needs to thrive. Emotional maturity in love is about understanding that a healthy relationship requires more than just passion or connection. It requires the ability to respect your partner's needs, especially when those needs might mean giving them space or time away from the relationship. Maturity in love is recognizing that while you may deeply care for someone, their happiness and well-being are not solely your responsibility. Instead, it's about supporting them in being the best version of themselves, even if that means stepping back at times to allow them the freedom to grow, reflect, or recharge. True emotional maturity means acknowledging that every person has individual emotional needs and that these needs might not always align perfectly with your own. It's about being able to listen, understand, and respond without taking things personally or reacting out of fear or insecurity. Sometimes the most loving thing you can do is give your partner the space they need to process their thoughts, deal with their challenges, or simply enjoy solitude. Love doesn't require constant togetherness or constant communication. Emotional maturity allows both people in the relationship to recognize that taking time apart can be an essential part of maintaining a healthy connection. Being emotionally mature also means having the wisdom to understand that everyone has their own pace when it comes to emotions and personal growth. This understanding allows partners to give each other the freedom to explore their individuality without feeling threatened. It requires patience, empathy, and the ability to trust that space doesn't equate to abandonment. Rather, it's an opportunity for each person to recharge, reflect, and come back to the relationship with a clearer mind and a renewed sense of purpose. Respecting each other's need for time apart is not a sign of weakness or distance in a relationship. It's a sign of trust and understanding. When both partners honor this need, it creates a space for personal growth that ultimately strengthens the bond between them. Emotional maturity in love means that you can confidently support your partner's journey without feeling the need to control their every move. It's about understanding that love is not about proximity or constant attention, but about the strength of the connection that remains, even when you are physically or emotionally distant. In mature love, there is an awareness that true intimacy isn't about being together all the time, but about respecting each other's boundaries and needs. It's about having the courage to support your partner in their personal growth, knowing that the relationship will evolve and flourish in its own time. In today's world, we are often conditioned to believe that love requires constant communication, attention, and reassurance. The idealized image of love can sometimes make us feel that if we're not in constant contact or giving undivided attention to our partner, something is wrong. However, real love isn't about being constantly available or needing to check in with one another every minute of the day. It's about emotional depth, respect, and most importantly, the freedom to grow both as individuals and as partners. The notion that love means non-stop communication and attention is a product of unrealistic expectations. While communication is vital in any relationship, it shouldn't be reduced to frequent check-ins or pressure to stay glued to each other. Instead, love should be built on trust, where both people feel secure enough to have their own space and time apart. This doesn't mean disconnecting or withdrawing emotionally, but rather respecting the natural ebb and flow of life, where both partners have different responsibilities, interests, and needs. Real love is about emotional depth, the understanding that love isn't always about grand gestures or constant interaction. It's about the unspoken connection, the shared history, the understanding that even in silence, your bond remains strong. It's about being able to be your true self without the fear of judgment because you know your partner will stand by you. Love should be rooted in this deeper emotional connection, not in the fleeting moments of attention or the pressure to stay constantly engaged. Respect is another cornerstone of real love. It involves understanding and honoring your partner's individual needs, including the need for time to themselves. Respect means giving each other space to pursue personal passions, dreams, and aspirations. It's about recognizing that being in a relationship doesn't mean sacrificing your individuality or freedom. When two people respect each other's autonomy, they can bring their best selves to the relationship without feeling constrained or suffocated by expectations. True love also allows for freedom. It means that both individuals can pursue their own paths while still being there for one another when needed. This freedom does not diminish the bond, but instead strengthens it. It's the understanding that love doesn't thrive on possessiveness or constant attention, but on the mutual trust and support that allows both people to flourish in their own right. In redefining love, we must let go of the idea that love is about constant closeness or approval. Real love is about deep emotional connection, respect for each other's independence, and the freedom to grow both individually and together. It's about understanding that love is not a cage, but a partnership where both people can thrive. So, my friends, if love is real, it will give you the freedom to be yourself, to grow, and to explore. The true measure of love is not how much someone is there for you in every moment, but how they respect your autonomy and help you build a life that is yours as much as it is theirs. Thank you.